My name's Robert Punchur. I'm a stand-up comedian based out of New York City. When I was in first grade, I had a speech impediment. No ers, no ols, no ths, no fs. It all came out as whoa. I had more W's than the World Wide Web. Nobody ever understood what I said, so I decided to write instead. I was Wobbit, the quiet kid in a corner creating. When I was in third grade, Mrs. May explained what to do in case of an emergency. If there's a fire, hide. If there's a hurricane, cry, or something like that. I didn't listen. It was difficult for me to pay attention. Now suddenly I'm asking a question. The question, what do we do when we're attacked by giant chickens? I asked. Kids laughed. And just like that, it was on my track to becoming Chicken Boy, the crazy kid with a pronunciation problem and a peculiar passion for poultry. For the next 3 years, I strived to keep that joke alive. Or rather, the matter seemed to be me brought to life by the idea that I could survive and thrive in my grade school tribe if I splatter laughter, class after class after class after class. After a long enough time, I became the persona didn't become mine. Because that's the problem with being humor incarnate. Funny is as funny does, and funny is just that. Funny isn't mad. Funny isn't sad. Funny doesn't act out because funny is lonely. Funny acts out because funny is bad. But what's really funny is, I'll bet you money this funny kid, although sweet as a bunny sucking honey on a sunny Sunday in San Andreas, deep down is embarrassed he doesn't fit in, but enough of this sad clown shit. When I was in 7th grade, I was silent again. It was a new school with new rules. New classes, hall passes, a whole new world full of new boys and new girls who had new moods and new boobs. I like those. But there were also new clothes. Uniforms of the cool kid clones. And mine were a bit too big without the right logos, so every day at noon I would eat lunch alone. Oh. Well, actually, not exactly. You see, I had Jack London with me. Call of the Wild is a great book for any child, or, I'm sorry, a young adult, because it teaches us that it's not your fault if you're transplanted into a new nature and you don't immediately connect. Your life isn't wrecked. You just need to learn how to earn some respect, so that's what I did. I watched the cool kids to see how they'd act, and I'd puff out my chest and imitate it back, and by the end of that year, when I said sup to a cute girl I sat near with the pretty blonde hair, she replied, hi, Rob? I was Rob. It isn't my name, but it was halfway there. Now, at this point, I should mention that literature wasn't my only convention. Since first grade, I'd also wrestled, and I don't mean to brag, but I won a lot of participation medals. I tested my own mental medal as well. In this sport that's a blend of a fight and a cuddle, the pain isn't so subtle and it isn't all external. There are no huddles, but there's plenty of internal hurdles. It's a one-on-one battle of skill and will. Kill or be killed. And the only team tougher than a trained rougher-upper is another under him who spends more time in the gym just to get beaten again and again. He comes back to attack, and that is the mentality I'd taken to society. I've worked as hard as any human in history, and I don't mean that as hyperbole for the sake of poetry. I honestly believe you can't beat me. So when I was in 9th grade, I was a champion. I had my wrestler's physique. I was self-proclaimed king of the geeks. I was on homecoming court and the academic quiz team. Speech therapy fixed me when I talked. I had a strut when I walked, and to top it all off, I had a really big array of people that I socialized with. Some of them called me Robot, because I did a lot, unnaturally, mechanically. But like the machine I was accused of being, I was numb to them. You see, I struggled to get my voice heard, and it was. But what people didn't see were the other struggles inside of me. There were more voices in my head, and some of the things that they said weren't always happy. Classic Jay Gatsby, or Somerset's Razor's Edge. See, these are the stories of boys who earned glories but then couldn't enjoy the adjoining adornments because they never fully were comfortable with their self. So when I was in 12th grade, I got to know me. I am Robert. I am a hard-working, soft-spoken, big-stick-toting son of a gun. I like to have fun, but I also take things seriously. I'm a man of mystery. I'm a meek geek and a jerky jock. I look up to Ben Franklin and The Rock. I'm a narcissist, an egotist, a masochist, a humorist, an animalistic survivalist, an arrogant misogynist. No, I'm the best at being humble, bitch. I'm a cynical critic, a critical cynic, and on top of that, I'm a hypochondriac because I say all this without diagnosis. I've never been to a therapist, but if you don't think you're at least a little bit crazy, then you're full-on insane. And yes, it has something to do with the chemicals in your brain, and my misbalance was only moderate. My sister's the one who really had it. She had real depression. Demons in her head depression. Can't get out of bed depression, would rather be dead depression, and my impression was the lesson to be learned is happiness must be earned. It isn't a guaranteed gift, and yet it's one of the most beautiful things that we can give or get. So take on lovers, be kind to others, hug your mothers, and remember, you are beautiful. You are special. More than flesh, you are a soul, and it is unique, So whether you're a self-conscious beauty queen or a self-righteous geek, whether you're perpetually upset or living with regret, just stay brave enough to face the next day, because more importantly than any cliche I can say, it's vital to remember that you are okay.